Okay, let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. While the winds are like moving like hella fast this morning, and I'm late. But hey, I'm running late. Let's see if we can make the time up. So, may it be possible that Pistons may keep Tobias Harris, keep Jaden Ivey. May that be a possibility, all right? Because Ivey looks really, really good coming back. Seemed like early on he said he got better control, not having the turnovers or nothing like that. Seemed like he control, under control. It seemed like his speed and his shooting, and his shooting last year had, improved dramatically. He might can stick around, at the end of the day, keeping him around might provide more value than trading him, because maybe you get him on a 2-year prove-it deal next year, or 2-year a solid deal, where then he could try to get that max after 2 years. So K sounded in that Kevin Durant interview real receptive to, playing with him. I remember when K first got here, before he got here, K started off injured. I think he had a shin injury or a hip injury, or even both. Then Ivey got here, K got injured again, then K came back, had a big year. His third year, Ivey was down. Ivey started playing well, shooting the ball well. Then he was down, and then here we are again, So Ivey looked strong. He looked, more under control. And sometimes an injury will make you do that. You know what I'm saying? Guys that tend to survive injuries, or just survive, in a sport for a long time, you know what I'm saying? They end up learning, technique and how to play the game on a mental level, and not how to get by with athleticism. And I think Ivey is starting to craft athleticism. He's starting to craft, off the ball shooting, attacking under control, finishing at the rim. And there may not be a need to, a major move to be made. And I got to say this, man, because I think this brother deserves credit. I might pair it with another. Javonte Green was a big pickup, man. Javonte Green can really play some basketball. You lose Malik Beasley, and I ain't saying he Malik Beasley, but man, that was a hell of a find. His ability, I just think he needed opportunity. And I think what people forget, if you never really played basketball, there's a whole bunch of really good basketball players. There's a whole bunch of really good basketball players in this world. All right? Anybody that play basketball, it's guys like, believe it or not, I don't know if people know this fact, but Steve Francis never played high school basketball. Go look it up. If you don't know who the franchise is, Steve Francis never played high school basketball. Crazy work. Steve Francis was nasty work. Today's game, man, he'd probably be MVP damn near. Crazy work, man. Never played. It's great hoopers everywhere, man. Everybody who's been in the streets, we know guys that could have been in the league, should have been in the league. We know talented guys that didn't go to school that were just phenomenal. And that's how you really shape your game. Crossovers, moves. You get that from people that you play with in the trenches. And that may be another reason why the NBA ain't so good no more. And it's been better this year. I will give them that. I think viewership up 15%, but they own every night. I got the sauce for that, but now I can't really share that. I had to put that behind the paywall, how you can watch every game for the 5-finger discount for the frisky, for the free ball, right? But, and HD, my ninja too. But honestly, it's been better. But, most of the kids ain't really grow up playing ball outside. That's how you get better, man. That's how you create moves, or you take moves from people just going out there and hooping, not having a personal trainer, just getting out there, hooping all day, playing against the old heads, playing against the young guys, playing against guys your own age. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. But, back to the topic at hand with Tobias and Jaden Ivey, shit. At the end of the day, maybe Tobias Harris, you see things like Michael Porter Jr. out there, or, You know, you see things with what's the other brother's name? PJ Washington. Outside of the Laurie Mark and Anthony Davis thing, which I might talk about that too. You know, yeah. But yeah, you see those guys out there, and you know, do you want to mess with the camaraderie? I mean, PJ Washington would be a phenomenal pickup. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. PJ Washington would be a good pickup regardless. Michael Porter Jr., you know, kind of a streaky shooter. Kind of a streaky shooter, but you know, tall guy, can play some wing, you know, podcast legend. You know, he's a fucking podcast legend out here, man. They telling him, hey, bro, you kind of got to slow down to the shit that you're talking about. He's a podcast legend, but he can shoot. You know, he was way more better coming out of high school, but he hurt his back at Missouri. So that was the issue with it. He hurt his fucking back at Missouri. But yeah, I like both of them. You know, I've been a big MPJ fan. I wanted the Pistons to draft MPJ, and I think they traded the pick away to the Clippers or something like that. But yeah, I wanted them to draft MPJ. But like I said before, I like those moves. I like if they stay pat. You know, I like if they stay pat. So personally, now they can stay pat. But if Ivey keep improving and work his way into the starting line, you don't want to put too much stress on that knee, because the way he plays basketball, even though it seemed like he slowed down a bit, he's more controlled, and that's all you wanted him to do. Westbrook had to learn how to do that too, how to be under control. All that speed, harness it, you know, put it under control. And he's learned to control that speed. And you know, now you have a real player. Now you have somebody they gotta respect. You know, Caris LeVert starting to heat up like dry ice. Caris LeVert starting to heat up. Not shocked. Last year, Tim Hardaway and Tobias Harris had to knock the rust off. Y'all was ready to, you know, throw them over the ship. A lot of them veterans, it just takes some time, man. It takes time. So, but yeah, I mean, it's in the world, you know, if you keep Tobias, then you sign him to a contract extension. You know, but Ivey, you know, right now, he's just a throw-in until he continues to prove he's a throw-in and trade to make the salary work. But he may be more work. Now look at him coming back, how good he looked in short time. He may be more valuable to you in general, just keeping him. So yeah, but if he can continue to, be on the uptick, you know, so be it. Maybe you just keep it together. But one thing about it, if you were to get an MPJ, you was to get a Michael Porter Jr. Over a Tobias Harris, I think for sure you'll get a knockdown shooter. The problem is Tobias provides more defense. That's the problem. Tobias is the reason that they defend at the level they defend at. That's why they was losing a lot of those games. They couldn't defend the 4 spot. So Michael Porter Jr. is not gonna come and defend. He can't really help you. I mean, he gonna shoot better for sure. He gonna hit that shot. You know, he might come here and shoot 50% from that corner alone. That's a fact. But defense, you get PJ Washington, he could defend 1 through 4. And he probably shoot that 3 about the same clip as Tobias Harris. But the one thing about PJ, he gonna defend his position. PJ, you can switch him. You know what I'm saying? He can show. And, you know, he can score. He got a 40-point game in there, damn near 50 ball, I believe. Hey, it may be a game in a series that might swing it. He might show up and get you 30, 40, 50, 40 points, maybe even 50. He's still young. That's the great thing about it. He might get you a 50 ball. He might. He might get you a 50 ball. That's the crazy thing about it. He very may sure well do that. So let me know what y'all think. They might keep him. I wouldn't be against it right now, but hey, hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch. Everything inside the link tree is the first link in the description. Peace.